The deadliest earthquake to hit the Philippines in over a decade, and the destruction is vast. On the island of Cebu, search teams are combing through rubble as authorities race to get essential aid to those who need it. Videos on social media showing when the powerful magnitude 6.9 earthquake hit. People seen clinging to each other. The top of this parish building crashing to the ground. At the Miss Pacific contest, people scrambling to hide under tables. One of the hardest hit areas was the city of Bogo, where images showed covered bodies side by side lining the street and makeshift hospitals struggling to treat the injured. Rescuers are using whatever tools they have to pull away concrete and debris to recover bodies. Among the dead here, this man's wife and son. I went around the rubble and kept calling out their names, he said, touching the bag holding his loved one's body. Officials have declared a state of calamity. The Philippines vulnerable to disasters like this, sitting on the geological fault known as the Ring of Fire. But rescue efforts are being hampered by broken roads and bridges, heavy rain, and multiple aftershocks, with the death toll expected to rise even higher. Janice Mackey-Freyer, NBC News, Beijing.
A powerful earthquake has killed at least 69 people in the Philippines as rescuers race to find those who survived, with troops, police and civilian volunteers deployed to carry out house-to-house searches. You see footage here from when the quake struck. The powerful 6.9 magnitude quake hit the central Philippines at around 10 p.m. local time last night. The hospital in Bogo City, near the epicenter, says it is overwhelmed. There are patients being treated outside as it gets hit with aftershocks. CBS News foreign correspondent Anna Corin is following developments for us from Hong Kong. And as this was an evening quake, as I mentioned, so many people were asleep. How hard is the search for survivors right now?
Well, Errol, as you say, this is one of the strongest earthquakes to hit the Philippines in more than a decade. 6.9 magnitude quake struck off the coast of Cebu. This is an island located in the central Philippines, as you say, just before 10 p.m. People were in bed or getting ready to go to sleep, which is why the death toll is so high. Those buildings just collapsed when the quake hit. Currently, it stands at 69, but authorities say it is almost certain to rise. We don't know how many people are missing because some of those areas are completely cut off. Now, infrastructure has been damaged, communications are out, bridges have collapsed, roads are impassable, and on top of that, the island today has been hit with heavy rainfall, making rescue efforts even more difficult. We understand more than 150 people were injured, hospitals completely overwhelmed. And there is some very distressing video, Errol, of family members gathered over dozens of body bags, weeping, grieving. You know, it's these sorts of gut-wrenching images that come out of a country like the Philippines, which really conveys the utter devastation that has been caused by this earthquake. And we should mention also that there were multiple aftershocks, the strongest being 6.0 magnitude, which is incredibly strong. The Philippines President, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., he has promised swift assistance. He's already sent cabinet members to Cebu to direct relief operations. Coast Guard have been deployed from Manila, carrying dozens of doctors, nurses, medical supplies, humanitarian relief. And, you know, the Philippines is no stranger to earthquakes. It is geographically located in the Pacific Ocean on the Ring of Fire. But this was without doubt one of the most destructive and deadly that struck last night, Errol.
Yeah, that 6.9 and a 6.0 aftershock is like a 1-2 punch. Anna Corin with the latest. Thank you.
Tonight, the horrific images coming in, the desperate search for survivors now. There's been a deadly earthquake in the Philippines, dozens killed in this 6.9 earthquake as entire buildings came crashing down. And tonight it's feared many are still trapped under the rubble. Here's ABC's Britt Clennett.
Earthquake, earthquake.
This is the moment a powerful earthquake rocked the Philippines, leaving dozens dead. You can hear the screams of terrified residents in Cebu province. Models walking the runway during this beauty pageant, scrambling to get to safety. The bell tower on this centuries-old church toppling to the ground. The 6.9 magnitude earthquake striking just before 10 there Tuesday night, killing at least 69 people. And in Indonesia tonight, crews racing to rescue dozens of students after their school collapsed during a prayer service Monday. Officials still hearing screams from the rubble. Today, digging a tunnel to rescue 5 survivors. Parents gathering, desperate for word. I got here as soon as I heard the news, this father says. That school had been undergoing construction. At least 6 were killed, dozens more injured.
David, back to that deadly quake in the Philippines that violently shook buildings as it struck. Rescue efforts are now being hampered by hundreds of aftershocks. And this is less than a week after the country was hit by back-to-back typhoons, with another one on the way. David?
Yeah, the typhoons and now this earthquake. Britt Clement with us here. Britt, thank you.
Rescue and recovery efforts are underway this morning after a powerful earthquake hits the Philippines last night.
Dozens have been killed. Thousands have been evacuated from their homes. Cody Matz joins us now with the latest. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. The earthquake was a magnitude 6.9, killing now at least 69 people. You can see the video behind me, a sports complex shaking as the earthquake struck. This is one of the most powerful earthquakes to hit the central region of the Philippines in more than a decade, and the death toll is expected to rise. It hit there about 10 p.m. Local time, creating widespread panic. Obviously, you can see some of the lights kind of fading in and out as the ground continues to kind of shake off and on. Power is out to many areas near the epicenter. Officials say several residents have been trapped inside their homes as well as other buildings as the quake collapsed walls and ceilings. Rescuers are working to find survivors at this hour, searching from house to house. But disaster mitigation officers say it's hard to move through certain areas because of damage to roads and bridges. Now, here's a look at just one of the many buildings that has been left in ruins. This century-old church suffering heavy damage, and leadership there saying the building has actually partially collapsed. Now, the Philippines is one of the world's most disaster-prone countries due to its location. It is often hit by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and strong typhoons. In fact, the country experiences several landfalling tropical systems per year on average, including a strong typhoon just last week.
Immense destruction here in Bogo City, the epicenter of the magnitude 6.9 earthquake that hit the central Philippines on Tuesday night. This McDonald's store, one of the most severely impacted. You can see it looks like it will almost collapse. Ceilings on both the first and second floors caving, steel bars jutting out, everything else in disarray. People who were in the store when the earthquake struck say it's a miracle they survived.
I thought the situation was hopeless. Both the kitchen and the back room collapsed, so we just prayed. I left everything to God because there was really no way out anymore.
The damage is widespread, of course, with roads and bridges cracking like this. And many homes and buildings collapsing. For instance, this vehicle almost crushed by this wall falling down from what used to be an apartment building.
My friend was inside the building during the earthquake. He said he crawled out of the collapsed structure because there was no other way out. And he said he really thought he was going to die.
Now, beyond the devastation, grief has also gripped this city, having suffered the most number of casualties. In one upland community, houses were buried by a landslide, and now a mass wake is being held. One man told us he lost 6 members of his family, including very young grandchildren, when a boulder crushed their home. And then there's fear. Fear of going back into their homes despite having to endure this heat out here because of strong aftershocks.